Good afternoon to all the members of the cohort of Lecturers Club App 1. A very warm welcome to this consortium of scholars, which has been formed about 4 days ago. I wish to state here one particular aspect of life. Life is a journey. In this journey, many of us, we keep walking from one place to the other place. We try to stop at a particular point for some time and then leave that place. A true reflection of life has been depicted, and the roller coaster life of this particular group entered into its 5th day. It's a true reflection of the uncertainties among all of us, to be or not to be. I remember a quote from Robert Frost. I quote, "In 3 words, I can sum up everything I have learned about life. It goes on." Unquote, Robert Frost. What a great sentence. The entire philosophy of life is embedded in it. None of us are permanent. It's only the footprints that we leave on this planet that are permanent. So, as the most privileged citizens of this small planet, why I say privileged here? We are all scholars. We are all teachers. We have been into the noblest of the professions. And we have been into transfer of knowledge from one generation to the other generation. I can quote the example of thousands of teachers whom I have come across, who are just teaching out of passion. Money is incidental, but a teacher always lives. His preachings are eternal. Hence, let us move on from here. Given a chance, I wish to embrace the vacuous spaces of ignorance and enlighten those spaces by embedding them with knowledge, by living in the company of educators and scholars. As Rabindranath Tagore said, faith is the bird that feels the light when the dawn is still dark. I am quote. What a great optimistic quote it was. Sometime back, somewhere, someone whispered a word that slashed the ignorance of the mankind, and it grew with time as unbound knowledge. The word is Om, the sound of the universe. So, let us blend this cohort and help each other to erase the vacuous space in our mind. Thank you, one and all, for choosing Lecturers Club App 1 cohort. I wish everyone a pleasant journey into the future in the process of fulfilling the aim of this particular cohort to bring about digital transformation of our education system. The moment I say education system, each one of you here is completely aware we belong to the most ancient order of the monks who practiced and preached through the scriptures of Sanatana Dharma. I wish to narrate an article which I have written. In fact, I will be sharing with you this article in a PDF format very soon. The title of the article stands as Transformation of Gurukul System to Online Education. Here, I would like to state one thing. Most of you might be thinking, who is this fellow? He simply says online education system, and he compares it with something rustic and something very old, Gurukula. What is this Gurukula? The word Gurukula itself embeds within it a great meaning, valid till eternity. Since it was coined to the times until mankind exists, a home to get enlightenment is the meaning of Kula. It is achieved through practice of contemplated perseverance and self-discipline in the process of knowledge acquisition from the dispellers of darkness, gurus. Guru is the dispeller of darkness. Hence, Gurukula means a home to get enlightenment from the dispellers of darkness. Gurukula. Gurukula Vidya is a type of education system, just like the online education system that I was speaking with you. It originated in ancient India with disciples or learners, shishyas, students, as we call them, living near or within the hermitage or ashram with the gurus, guru and his family, where the Guru Patni used to cook for them and feed them throughout their stay in the hermitage. It has been the basis for today's reformed residential system of education. It is strong evidence of the strength of our scriptures as a single guru who was a master of those scriptures used to engage devoutly for the holistic enlightenment of his her shishyas. By the time the shishyas completed their knowledge acquisition from the guru, they used to be masters in one field or the other, or many a time, some of them in multiple fields. This clearly indicates that our scriptures possess the cognizance of all the so-called classifications of the subjects. These subjects are now being offered as restructured courses or life skills in our current curricula, such as engineering, medicine, microbiology, biotechnology, chartered accountancy, economics, arts, literature, and history, etc. The Guru Shishya tradition is a sacred one, and it has been the custom of all religions, not only the Sanatana Dharma and practices of the society. I emphasize the Guru Shishya Parampara has been a tradition of all cultures since the growth of civilization across the globe. And it used to be restricted to localized zones, as there was no proper communication system and the world was still in a primitive stage at that time. Though the languages and cultures are diversified globally, the teacher, Guru, has been receiving the respect of the highest order, and the Guru is given an equal or even higher status than the parents themselves. The term Gurukula is in use even today to refer to any or all the residential monasteries or schools operated by modern institutions in the form of corporate structures. The students then and now carry out the same mundane course. When I say mundane daily course, in the ancient times, in the Gurukulas, the shishyas used to arrange for everything that is required for the ashram or the hermitage. And now, these mundane daily courses in the modern age are transformed into mess secretary, cultural secretary, academic secretary, administrative secretary, NSS, NCC, extracurricular activities secretary. Students have been given charge to organize these particular daily course during their academic tenure in the institutions of the residential system. And this is nothing but a part of acquiring life skills and a self-discipline and developing answerability, jawabdari. In every language, it means the same. Answerability, answerability to the nation, answerability to the organization, answerability to the society, answerability to your friends, answerability to your inner self. In the olden times, the hermitages used to function through the format called Dakshina. After the course is completed, before the students left the ashram to lead their own lives. It now got transformed into course fees. The same legacy continues, but the terminology has changed. But during the ancient times, it was not compulsory. It depended on the parampara of the shishyas. If the shishyas were from the weaker sections, they were admitted into the ashram and they were taught all the skills equally with either the children of kings or the ministers. The best examples, all of us remember the story of Krishna and Kuchela in the ashram of sage Sandipani. Similarly, the minister of Iran, Nazir al-Mulk, has founded in the 10th century, I think, the transfer of knowledge from a trainer to a learner through the system of madrasa. Madrasa in Arabic means an institution that teaches, that preaches. Okay. Or in Egypt by Muhammad Gawan as madrasas. And in Europe, there were a lot of cathedral residential schools which taught life skills through Christianity. While living in a Gurukula, be it Sanatana Dharma, Islamic, or a Christian missionary, the students would be away from their home for a period of months to years at a stretch. But ultimately, they return home with the biggest gift of enlightenment, knowledge acquired through the teacher. Gurupyo Namah. Any talk has to end. If I go on speaking endlessly, there is no meaning. So, let me summarize the takeaways of this particular talk. The philosophy of education still remains the same. Revolutions, renaissance, technological developments, though they bridged the gap between the trainers and the taught. Earlier, the preachers and practitioners of our scriptures used to stay away from the social pleasures so as to dedicate their life for the cause of embedding, enlightening, and extending the cognizance to the next generation due to the only availability of the memory device, the human memory. What a great sacrifice. Where the normal people used to enjoy all the pleasures in the society, the gurus used to keep themselves away from the social pleasures of the society, practice the scriptures and preach them and transfer them to the next generation using the only memory device, the best supercomputer available at those times, the human mind, the human memory. Currently, after a long time, again, with several transformations of the education system, now we are struck due to the pandemic, and there is a dire need of another major digital transformation of our education system. Let us all join together to witness, practice, and preach by adopting this transformation. I, on behalf of Indgiants Private Limited, have and offer to you the platform for you to adopt the change. Download, install, sign up. You will receive an SMS, sign in, start using the Lecturers Club app. We will activate a prime plan where you can transfer the cognizance to at least 30 of your students and be a part of the transformation, be a part of the change. Adopt Lecturers Club, India's #1 mobile classrooms for masterminds. Are you willing to be a part of this change? Please contact me. Thank you. Bye-bye.